Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. Today we have a very important order of business. It's time for me to come out as BRAT. There was a time on this channel when I was attempting to be demure and mindful, but it didn't work out. It just didn't work out. And that's because I was talking to my friends, and my friend Lisa was talking about something, and she mentioned boom clap. And I don't know why. I must have been vulnerable. My brain was out of state. But as soon as she brought up boom clap, all of a sudden I was like, I need to listen to Charlie XCX again. And then I dove into BRAT, and I realized, which my friend Eric has been calling me BRAT all summer, and I realized I am BRAT, deeply BRAT. And I was like, okay, Demure is out. They're trying to bring in Demure Autumn. I'm not letting them. Not here. Not now. It is BRAT Autumn, period. So that's what's happening. For one. For two, apparently fat acceptance is Demure, which means weight loss is BRAT. So you better join me in being BRAT. But let's go ahead and listen to these people. Okay? You'll hear how demure it is, okay? Let's go.
See how I'm a registered dietitian that doesn't give you food rules or comment on your body? Very demure, very mindful. I don't restrict your calories. I don't tell you that there's foods that you can't eat. Very mindful, very demure. I teach you how to make peace with food in your body. Very cutesy, very demure. See how I'm a registered dietitian?
Interesting. Isn't it interesting? And I will say, I looked throughout the internets, and I found other people stating that it is demure. Very demure, very mindful, but also empowered in this body. This is more than a trend. It's a declaration. I'm claiming my space, embracing self-love, and living unapologetically. No more fitting into boxes or shrinking to meet someone else's standards. See, weight loss is not demure, apparently. Apparently, weight loss is shrinking to meet someone else's standards. That's a very interesting way to view weight loss, but apparently it's demure. I feel free to define beauty for myself, breaking every mold they tried to put me in. Here's to living liberated on our own terms. Okay? All I can say is no, 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 no. I will be losing weight because I'm BRAT. I will be eating green apples this autumn as well. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So the biggest thing I have here is this.
Dietitian that doesn't give you food
This
rules
part.
or comment on your body. Very demure, very don't restrict your calories.
This part. I don't restrict your calories. I think that for people who are super morbidly obese, for people who are obese at all, there's probably going to be a need to restrict calories. Now, to a lot of people, that is so scary, especially to the demure among us. But I invite you to be BRAT. It's going to be okay. You have to just deal with your anxieties behind it. It needs to be a non-emotional experience in the sense that you should not feel anxious about it. You should not be overly restrictive. You should just have a slight caloric deficit to lose the weight that you need to lose to be healthier. Apparently that's BRAT. And I approve of BRAThood. Okay? So let's go ahead and see this other person. She's kind of loud, so I'm going to have to adjust the sound for 1 second. So I'm going to let her go. I'll let her say the whole thing, and then we're going to break it down piece by piece, okay?
You always sit here and not comment on other people's bodies. Very demure, very cutesy. We're not like other girls. We don't put people's worth on their weight or the size of their clothing. I acknowledge that health is multifaceted, that it's not one size fits all. Very demure. My clients know that food does not have moral value. They know we need to respect our individual needs and food preferences. Very mindful. They know that they can incorporate processed foods in their diet, and this doesn't have to conflict with a non-diet, health-focused approach. That's demurely. So let's practice. We're not going to tell random strangers on the internet that we care about their health after we shame them. We're not going to tell people this is what I did and so it'll work for you too. And we're definitely not going to push restrictive diets. Do you see how I...
Okay. Let's break it down piece by piece, okay? It's time to bring some BRAT to the room right now. Okay. Not commenting.
People's bodies?
Not commenting on other people's bodies. I think it's fine to not comment on an appearance basis. I don't think it's productive. I do not appreciate that when people say that, especially because there can be some toxic ritualistic behaviors going on with people, and bringing attention to the body or shaming it can be an issue. It can actually escalate it. But I will say that we do need to comment on the health issues of people's bodies, even if they are strangers, because we need to acknowledge the physical realities of supermorbid obesity and obesity in general. We need to acknowledge it. So we will make certain comments. We don't need to make appearance-based comments because, I don't know, BRAT doesn't care about that. BRAT just cares about our own body, I guess. I don't know, our own appearance, I guess. Or maybe the appearance of the person that we want to be with, okay? That's more BRAT. In my opinion, as somebody who is literally only a couple days apart from being born as Charlie XCX, we are literally the same age, both Leos, both Enneagram 4, all of it. I don't know how I didn't see I was BRAT until this moment, but sometimes as a Leo, I can be a little slow. So whatever, it's BRAT. I don't go by the trends. I find it when I find it. But the point is, we don't care about all that, okay? It's not BRAT to care about other people's appearances like that. But it is BRAT to point out the realities, because that's what we do. Because I'm not going to sit here and let you lie to me, because I'm BRAT. I'm not going to let you bullshit me to my face, okay?
Very demure. Very...
Okay, then I'm not demure. No. Rejecting it. Rejecting cutesy, rejecting demure. No.
Cutesy. We're not like other girls.
Oh gosh, we're not like other girls. Okay.
We don't put people's worth on their weight or the size of their clothing.
Again, it's not necessarily BRAT. BRAT doesn't care. BRAT does not care. That's the best part about it. But what I will say is, you acting like you don't, it may be demure, but I don't know. To me, it gives a little bit of, you protest too much. If you really didn't care about it, then you wouldn't comment on it at all. Because I don't really do that. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I don't really comment on, oh, you're this size of clothing, or oh, you look like this. I don't really ever say that on this channel. It's not necessary. It ain't necessary.
I acknowledge that health is multifaceted, that it's not one size fits all.
Okay, what I will say with this, I think that one size fits all, it's a very specific thing that, they try to push it as something so specific, like this one diet will work for everybody. That's not necessarily true. I get it. That's not necessarily true. But what we can say is being super morbidly obese or severely underweight, those things are not okay. In that sense, health is not multifaceted. Those things are not good for your health, period. And if it isn't demure for me to say that, then I don't care. Well, clearly I don't care anyways, but I don't care. I don't.
Very demure. My clients know that food does not have moral value.
This is always a weird statement. Once again, as BRAT, we don't think about that. We just think about what's efficient, what works, what enables us to not be hungry in our healthy caloric deficit, because again, we're going to grab life by the horns. We're going to live our lives to the fullest. And that does include being at a healthy weight and not being inhibited by morbid obesity, supermorbid obesity, or obesity at all. Okay? So food may not have a moral value, but certain foods are going to keep you fuller longer and keep you in a more healthful caloric deficit. So it does matter. It does matter.
We need to respect our individual needs and food preferences.
Sure. Especially needs. Needs is a big one. Very important.
Very mindful. They know that they can incorporate processed foods in their diet, and this doesn't have to conflict with a non-diet, health-focused approach.
Sure, I guess. I mean, processed food, it really depends on what you mean by it. For me, as a brat, I struggle with hypothyroidism, so I do not have seed oils, for example. That's in a lot of processed foods. I don't eat that, period. It's cut out of my life. I don't care if it's inconvenient to you because I'm brat. I don't care if it annoys you because I'm brat. I don't care if you have to comment and get all triggered because I said I don't eat seed oils because I am brat. I do not give I guess I have to care a little bit about YouTube's algo and cussing, but I'm still having a brat awakening, okay? This is new, even though it isn't new. This is like a second coming out. This is difficult. But the point is, I'm brat. I don't eat that, period, because it's not right for me to eat it. So I won't. It's that simple. But I may have applesauce. I may have fruit juice. I may have certain chips that are made in a different oil is good for me or that I like. But guess what? I'm counting those calories. I'm tracking it. And I'm still losing the weight because, again, I want to live my life to the fullest. So I'm not going to just settle for being super morbidly obese. I'm not going to settle for being obese at all. I'm not settling for it because I'm brat. I'm not doing it because I'm not Demure. I don't care if it upsets people. I don't. And you shouldn't either.
Demurely. So let's practice. We're not going to tell random strangers on the internet that we care about their health after we shame them.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's important to care about somebody's health. I get if you don't want to say it to a random stranger. I would say it in general to you guys as my audience. I care about your health. To the collective, I care about the collective health, especially when it comes to this issue. And especially within the United States, which is the country that I reside in. It's such an issue here, and I do care about it. Even if you are a stranger, I care about your health. So I'm going to speak up for it because I care about it. Even if it upsets someone like this, because I'm brat.
I'm not going to tell people this is what I did and so it'll work for you too.
Oh, I definitely will tell you what worked for me. I will. I absolutely will. I do not care if it upsets somebody. I will tell them. And again, it does, trust.
Definitely not going to push restrictive diets.
I'm always going to push what works for you. If you are super morbidly obese, eat the macronutrients that you need to not be hungry. That may differ from person to person. That's perfectly fine. No shame on that. But be balanced, be as balanced as possible. And be honest, you should not be hungry. It's not brat to be hungry all the time. So you need to adjust your deficit or your macros to where you're not hungry all the time, because you don't have to be hungry all the time to lose weight. That's not true. But anyways, I'm still working on this. I'm working on accepting my brathood. I'm working on it. I am embracing brat autumn this year, and it may become a brat winter as well. I have to see how it goes, but I am definitely brat. And I just heard a new song today and I was like, oh my gosh, I so relate. It's called Sympathy as a Knife. I totally relate to that song. And I was like, wow. I was just like, wow, Taylor could never understand that. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. But anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let's go brat autumn full on. I'm going 365 this year. I'm going to continue to lose weight throughout the autumn and winter and all of it. We're going the whole year this year. That's a huge goal. I hope I don't eat those words, but I think I'll be okay. I'm planning on it. So I'm going into it strong. That's what I'm sticking to. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow for another episode of the podcast reaction. I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, whatever. Peace. Bye.